Reviving the Commercial Lens, Reexamining Swift v. Tyson, and Erie's Unspoken Preservation of the Law Merchant. Abstract. The landmark decision in Erie Railroad Co. v. Tompkin 1938 is widely understood as the repudiation of Swift v. Tyson 1842 and the doctrine of federal general common law. This interpretation, however, oversimplifies the nuanced reality. While Erie abolished federal general common law in non-commercial cases, it left untouched the principles that animated Swift's application in commercial disputes. This article explores the enduring relevance of the law merchant in commercial law, argues that Swift remains valid for cases governed by general commercial principles, and demonstrates how Erie reframed federal-state jurisprudence without displacing the specialized body of commercial law central to interstate and international commerce. Introduction. When the Supreme Court decided Erie Railroad Co. v. Tompkins, it fundamentally reshaped federalism in American jurisprudence. Hailed as a victory for state sovereignty and a necessary corrective to the inequities of federal common law, Erie ostensibly overturned the doctrine established by Swift v. Tyson. However, this narrative overlooks a critical detail. Swift was a commercial case rooted in the law merchant, a body of law that transcends state boundaries and underpins the Uniform Commercial Code, UCC. This article contends that Erie did not and could not overturn Swift in the realm of commercial law, where uniformity and predictability are paramount. 2. The historical foundation of Swift v. Tyson. In Swift v. Tyson, the court applied principles of the law merchant to a dispute over negotiable instruments. The decision represented an acknowledgement that commercial transactions operate within a universal framework of customs and practices, independent of localized common law. This approach was crucial for the burgeoning interstate commerce of the 19th century, where conflicting state laws threatened economic stability. Despite its benefits, Swift became controversial as federal courts expanded the doctrine of general common law into areas traditionally governed by state law, such as property and torts. This overreach set the stage for Erie. Erie Railroad Co. v. Tompkins, a corrective or a redirection? Erie explicitly rejected the notion of federal general common law in diversity jurisdiction cases, mandating that federal courts apply state substantive law in such disputes. The decision is celebrated for promoting federalism and curtailing judicial activism, yet its scope was limited to non-commercial matters. By focusing on tort law and the inequities of forum shopping, the court in Erie did not address, and arguably could not address, the unique domain of commercial law. Commerce relies on principles that are inherently general, such as those derived from the law merchant. Swift's application of these principles remains untouched in commercial contexts, even after Erie. The law merchant, a parallel and enduring legal framework. The law merchant predates both Swift and Erie, arising from the customs of medieval merchants to facilitate trade across jurisdictions. Its principles have since been codified in instruments like the UCC, which harmonizes commercial law across states. Federal courts continue to apply these general commercial principles, particularly in cases involving negotiable instruments, contracts, and international trade. This is not a contradiction of Erie, but rather a recognition of the distinct nature of commercial law, which requires consistency and predictability. Modern implications, Erie Swift, and the UCC. The UCC, adopted in all 50 states, embodies the principles of the law merchant and serves as a unifying force in American commercial law. Federal courts frequently interpret and apply the UCC, demonstrating the continued relevance of general commercial principles in a post-Erie landscape. This reality underscores the enduring validity of Swift in commercial contexts. While Erie repudiated the overreach of federal general common law and state law claims, it left intact the foundational role of the law merchant in governing commerce. In this way, Erie and Swift coexist, each governing its respective domain. Conclusion. The narrative that Erie overturned Swift is overly simplistic. In reality, Erie corrected the misuse of federal common law in non-commercial cases, while leaving untouched the principles that underpin Swift in commercial disputes. The law merchant, as the foundation of modern commercial law, continues to provide a universal framework that transcends state boundaries and ensures the uniformity essential for commerce. This article calls for a renewed understanding of Swift and Erie as complementary doctrines. Erie reinforces state sovereignty in non-commercial matters, while Swift preserves the consistency and predictability necessary for the commercial realm. Together, they reflect a balanced federalism that respects the distinct needs of commerce and governance.